Right, so there's no secret that I think that LG have made some truly brilliant wireless earbuds over the last few years, and this often makes scripting sponsored LG content quite difficult, because I can see why people who don't know the channel would simply look at the video and go, well, he's being paid, so he's gonna say nice things. And of course, if you do follow the channel, you'll know that's simply not the case. I say what I like and things that I think potentially could be improved. But in today's video, I've tried really hard to find things that I think potentially could be improved in their future LG Tone Free products, because these are their very latest. And spoiler alert, I didn't do a very good job, because LG have covered even more bases here. Introducing the brand new 2022 lineup, the LG Tone Free UT90 and UTF8, their first pair of sports earbuds. And strange, long-winded, too many letters and numbers naming scheme aside, something that they could improve in a future product, both are excellent for different people. The UT90 are your more traditional, what we've come to expect from the Tone Free range style of earbuds. Sleek and classy design, excellent sound, more on details on that in a second. But then we also have the more sporty UTF8 for the runners, gym goers, and just anyone that doesn't like a earbud with a stem. Both earbuds have an IP rating as well, 67 and X4 respectively. So if you did want to use either of them for the gym or any other sporting situation, you don't have to worry about sweat, rain, splashes, etc. And the sports ones also have an open air design to allow air to move more freely around the area to keep it cool. Now please note the actual cases aren't water resistant, so you know, make sure you're careful with that, and that is something potentially could be improved in a future product, if that is at all possible. Outside of that, both share many similarities, but also some key differences, as well as a sneaky little magic trick up their sleeves, but more on that in a second. So firstly, in terms of design, the UT90 have the same circular puck look to the case as previous generations, whereas the UTF8 are slightly wider, but both pretty nice and compact. I do really like the texture on the sports ones, nice and grippy, and it has this really cool noise if you rub it. Not sure why you'd want to do that, but you might. Both have LED indicators on the front, giving you information on battery, charging and Bluetooth pairing, and both have the text UV Nano underneath. This refers to LG's famed UV LED light technology, which reduces bacteria by up to 99.9% in just 10 minutes whilst charging. This has also been upgraded, with the UV area now being expanded to reach both the silicone ear gels and the mesh inside. You have your charging port on the back of both, and the special magical feature which I mentioned earlier, a button on the side which, when switched, allows you to plug in this special cable, Type-C into the case, and a 3.5mm headphone jack on the other end, and then the case becomes like a transmitter in what's known as plug and wireless mode. For any devices that are still using a 3.5mm headphone jack technology, such as older phones or cars, or when you go on a plane and want to watch the screen in the back of the headrest, this little idea can be absolutely invaluable. Now there does seem to be some slightly higher latency in this mode compared to standard Bluetooth, certainly in the little testing that I did, and that fraction delay between what you're seeing and hearing could possibly be improved again in a future product, but the sound quality this time around actually seems better than the previous generation when they first brought this idea in. So definitely an improvement there, I think. And to be honest, I just love this idea, because you can have two types of technologies all within one product. And I don't actually think I've seen this type of feature on any competing products either. Correct me if I'm wrong. Very quickly, as we're talking sound, I would love the sound of you dinging the notification bell and subscribe button. No? Okay. You can also connect up to 5 devices simultaneously and switch between them, and don't underestimate this feature. I find this remarkable, actually, switching between my iPhone and my MacBook Pro. Like, literally, you press play on your iPhone, the sound comes out. You then press play on your MacBook Pro, and the sound comes out of there and stops on there instantly. You don't have to manually reconnect at all. Pairing on the whole is good, although I'm still of the believer that I like having a physical manual button to help pair in case the open sync straightaway pairing doesn't function. And yes, you can press on the actual earbuds themselves to do that, but it's just a bit finicky. But that might just be me. Now, I tend to be fairly lucky actually with the fit of wireless earbuds. They perfect ear shape, I guess, or blessed shape inner ears. But either way, both fit really nice and snug. I can't really complain too much there. I do find that the UTF8 Qs are slightly wider and are not quite as comfortable over a long period. But again, it's subjective, it's personal preference on the shape of your ears. The UTF8 Qs have a really cool swivel grip, which locks them firmly in place, but the UT90 Qs fit really well as well, just popping them in. Both come with different size tips in the box as well, so you can obviously make sure it specifically fits you. If you are unsure of whether they're actually in properly, the in-app test is really helpful, as is the app as a whole really, helping you fully customize your sound with equalizer settings and touch panel commands, something that I really wish all manufacturers would do. I've often used competing brands where they sort of force you to use them in a certain way with certain touch commands, and I find, especially if you've got a couple of different pairs that have different settings, it can get a bit confusing, and I would like to be able to just use them how I want to. The app control means you can decide what 1, 2 or 3 taps do, and also the long press as well. I have the long press set to ambient and active noise cancelling, which is really useful when I've been travelling on planes, trains, etc. in recent weeks, being able to shut out that noise if I want to, with a filter that can adjust the sample rate. And if I need to go the other way, you have listening and conversation mode to enhance your surroundings in a way that suits you. I do think the touch functionality is slightly easier on the sports versions just because there's a larger, flatter surface area. Now, if you are using them while traveling, of course, battery life is going to be key, and both are pretty respectable. You have 10 hours in each bud on the UT90 Qs and 9 hours on each bud in the UTF8 Qs. 20 hours of battery inside both cases. This, of course, is with ANC turned off. If you have it on, you will get less than that. And then there's overall sound, and I sound like a bit of a broken record here. Sound, broken record, pun intended. Whoa! Shocking. I sound like a broken record when I talk about the partnership between LG and British audio manufacturer Meridian. But the fact remains, Meridian make some of the best sound systems on the planet. And some of their tech has again found its way into these two new LG Tone Free products. Headphone Spatial Processing, or HSP, helps to make the audio seem like it's coming from all around you, and the treble tones and punchy bass, especially for a pair of earbuds, means you can always get a really well-rounded, balanced sound. On top of this, one of the materials used is graphene, which apparently improves speaker performance for a more intense and lifelike sound. But there's also an 89% larger driver for deeper bass, improved power, and you also have the world's first pair of earbuds with Dolby Atmos and Dolby head tracking. This identifies the location of the sound when you turn your head, placing it more accurately in the space around you. Dolby Atmos movies and music just sound so much more realistic because of this, especially when you think it's coming from these tiny things. And I have also tested both earbuds whilst speaking to friends and my wife, and they've all said that I sound like I'm just kind of on the phone normally. So yes, there are some areas that LG could improve their tone-free range. But honestly, these are some of the finest, feature-rich wireless earbuds available. And on top of that, with the new sports model as well, they've covered more bases than ever, and at a competitive price. Good job again, LG. All the information to these will be left in the video description below. Like and share if you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to see more content like this. I love you and leave you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.